This TikToker refused to leave his sailboat as a Category 5 hurricane approached him, and this is the story of the man TikTok has dubbed the real-life Lieutenant Dan. As most of you guys know, we've been hit with some horrific hurricanes in the last couple of weeks, but specifically Tampa Bay has been hit hard twice. First by Helene, then Milton. And right before Helene hit, this video went viral on TikTok.
Now me, I was scared, but Lieutenant Dan, he was mad.
Obviously, the audio is from the movie Forrest Gump, but this went viral for obvious reasons. Who doesn't love Forrest Gump, and who doesn't love a good Florida man story? But locals got worried for him and came together to move his boat to a safer location.
Let's go. All right. We're moving the boat. Water's rising.
And after that, he definitely kept his word and stayed there throughout Hurricane Helene.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. We got 3 hours until high tide, and we're checking in on Lieutenant Dan. His boat has risen a little. Dan! Lieutenant Dan! Are you in there? There he is! Dan! We need an interview. There he is. There's our guy. Oh, look at him! Yay! How we doing? Give the people an update.
So far, so good. We're staying on this side of the pole. It's actually still low tide, if you believe that.
He says it's still low tide when it's at 3 hours high tide, but his boat is on the concrete. What are you gonna say? Everyone's
He is a brave soul for going through multiple hurricanes in that boat right there.
guys.
Right.
But he doesn't answer.
Wind took out his response.
Jeez.
How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, man. I know, right? Look at this setup he's got. He might end up in the parking lot of Publix in a few hours.
Are you confident where you're at?
Yeah, he's good.
And thankfully, he pulled through that night as Terrence then interviewed him the day after.
We got the boat here and Lieutenant Dan here. How did it go? How'd the night go?
It was a little rough till about 11:30. I repositioned the boat and I was heading into the wind. And I slept like a baby from 12:30 to 5 o'clock this morning. I woke up twice to pee, that was it. But other than that, I mean, it's been a great night. I just smoked half a joint. I'm high, I'm watching all the people run around like crazy because of all the water. And water went up. It was up to here last night. It was over the pole.
There's the boat, still standing.
I mean, I believe me, I got battered against the tire. But other than a couple of scuff marks on the side, my boat's in better shape now than it was before because it got washed. So, I mean, everything is a plus. It's a win-win all the way around.
What'd you learn from this experience?
Not a damn thing. No. There are a lot of good people in this world. And I gave up on this world years ago because I've been on my own. And, I mean, I struggle every freaking day just living. And never anybody offers to help. Never. But Terrence here posted this video and it started getting likes, and then people started realizing that, you know, maybe he's not just crazy, maybe he really does need help.
Of course, man, let's go.
And people came out and helped me. We moved my boat from down over here where I would have got smashed last night on the wall, and we brought it over here.
Yup.
And one of the guys is actually a sailor, so he kind of knew how to rig it. So, and then once he was done, I could modify it, make everything work better.
Well, good for him. And shout out the Tampa Bay community for coming together for him. But the guy Terrence, who's been interviewing him, decided to set up a GoFundMe for the TikTok Lieutenant Dan. And that GoFundMe did extremely well. As of recording this video, it has $46,000. But then, as many of you guys know, he wasn't in the clear yet because Milton decided to form, and everyone thought, oh, that's going to be a Category 5 hurricane hitting Tampa Bay, exactly where he is. So what did he do? He stayed put. He was just going to ride that one out as well. Absolute mad lad. I mean, it got so bad that the mayor showed up to ask him to leave for his own safety. But that didn't work, so the chief of police then showed up to ask him to leave for his own safety.
Yeah, you guys research to a shelter? Okay, so tomorrow we're going to come back on. It's not a voluntary evacuation, so if it's still here. Last night's voluntary? All right.
Where are we going to go?
A shelter? I got 9 shelters that are open.
They changed it where it's not voluntarily mandatory. If they come in, if I don't come, we'll be arrested.
It'll be tomorrow morning.
Did he say involuntary evacuation? Interesting. But I guess that didn't work because he stayed.
Would you like to see what Lieutenant Dan looks like?
Well, yes, I would.
That's him right there.
I mean, he's pretty close to what you think a real-life Lieutenant Dan would be looking like. And he did come onto the internet, and Terrence then asked him why he's here and why he's staying here in Tampa. And this is what he had to say.
Reading the comments, and there was a guy, and he was telling a story in the Bible how there was a flood coming, and the guy, after the flood happened, he was like, God, why didn't you save me and everything? And he said, I sent 3 people, and you didn't come. What are you going to say to that comment?
Somebody made that same exact thing to me this morning. God sent me here. He sent me here. He told me to come here. He told me to be right here for this. So I'm doing what he told me to do. So I know he didn't send nobody to get me out of here. And anybody that tries to get me out of here, they're not of God, because God told me that this is where I'm supposed to be. And that's why I'm doing it. So.
And you're not worried at all, and everything's going to be all right?
I'm not worried, because my life, this is nothing compared to what I've been through, so this doesn't scare me. This is not even a minor inconvenience, because all that's going to happen is everybody's going to get wet, but I'm going to be fine because I'm in a boat that floats. Again, the water's on the outside. Now the wind, yes, the wind's going to pick up, but my anchor is tied to the dock. I'm not going to go anywhere.
You got this.
So it's all going to be good. I'm going to be fine.
All right, man. Everyone's praying for you.
He is so incredibly lucky that Milton didn't hit Tampa as a Category 5 as they originally thought it was going to be. I think when it hit Tampa, it hit as a Category 3. Still terrible, but Category 5, I'd be worried about his boat being smacked against the side of the dock there, or even up into a building. But obviously that didn't stop the locals for caring about him, and then News Nation showed up to debunk what the mayor said about him, because apparently the mayor said that she convinced him to leave. This wasn't the case.
You remember Lieutenant Dan, the guy who's gone viral, who's in this sailboat. He's still here, Nicole. Everybody's worried about you.
Who's worried about it?
It's all over TikTok.
Everybody, across the country.
I'm going to go live in a minute.
The mayor in her press conference said that they came and got him and took him to a shelter, but it's like so weird she said that because he is still in the boat. I mean, I just saw his hand sticking out like a couple minutes before this live shot.
I have a secured anchor point. I'm tied to the boat. If the tide goes up, I go up. As long as the water stays out of the boat, I'll be fine. And I'm the black sheep. I'm the one that does what I feel is right.
I love our generation is slowly finding out, don't trust, verify. That's exactly what he did right there. He's like, sure is funny the mayor said that because he's right there. We verified.
And I don't care what anybody says or wants to do about it. I do what I think is right.
Good for him. Dan was determined to ride out the hurricane one way or another. And shortly after, the hurricane started to show up. I mean, it's not even here yet, and that is really rough, especially for that little dinghy.
It is really flooded.
Dude, if this was a Category 5, he would have been sailing into downtown.
Got a sea legs tonight. Little quick work right here. Yeah, it's completely flooded. It's getting bad out here. I don't know. Really cold. Right, Diesel, what are you gonna say? I'm trying to wrangle off something. What do we got going here, Lieutenant Dan? What are you thinking?
There we go.
Up here. That way when I bang it, it has more freedom than what the hell is there, because I'll bang it right into the wall.
There we go.
Ooh, that is a jerry-rigged hurricane setup. I would not want to be on that boat during a hurricane. He's definitely not easy to get seasick, that's for sure. And after that video was posted, everyone was like, okay, this does not look good for him. Where's an update? We need some sort of Lieutenant Dan update. And then this video went viral about him. And then to add to all of this, there was a betting website that was betting on if he would make it through the hurricane or not. So we're really entering new levels of dystopia here now. But it was later revealed that that was not Dan's boat that we saw crashing against the wall there. But either way, people were worried about Lieutenant Dan. So the guy that made him viral on TikTok and started the GoFundMe got a bunch of hate for not getting Dan to a safe space.
All right, everyone. I just want to come on here and explain what's going on with Lieutenant Dan. And I've been seeing a lot of comments, a lot of misinformation out there. So I just want to come on here and set all the facts straight about what's going on. My name's Terrence. I'm the one that started this whole Lieutenant Dan thing. I've been filming him, making all the videos with him. I stayed with the last hurricane with him, checked in on him, made sure he was okay. And so I just want to, answer some questions that people have been asking me. I've been seeing it on Twitter or whatever, everything about him. Dan is not leaving the boat for the hurricane. He is staying on that boat. There has been many attempts to get him off this boat. People have offered houses, hotel rooms, apartments. He will not leave. So for all the people saying, get him a hotel, you're trying to get him to stay on the boat, we have all tried to get him to leave. The mayor, Tampa police, me, a bunch of other people. He will not leave, guys. So do not put that on me. He's a grown man. At the end of the day, he makes his own decisions. I set him up to GoFundMe, and all that money is going to him, 100% of the money. He has no bank account, no ID, so it is tricky right now getting him the money, but he will get all of that money. I haven't profited any way off Dan, and I know there's a lot of fake cash apps and other people that are putting him on his live and not giving him the gifts. I just want to know that I do not support any of that, and I want what's best for him. I know the Tampa mayor and a bunch of other people saying that he's gone. No, he is still there and still on the boat, and he is riding out this storm. But for all those who have been really supportive and all the nice messages, I appreciate that. And I mean, honestly, all we can do is pray for him at this point.
What an absolute mad lad. But later on that night, they got into a call with Aiden Ross, where he announced that he would be giving Dan a up to $100,000 boat. And that was if he survived the hurricane. Ish.
I've really, really good news for you, man. The owners of Kick and I, we spoke. I know you're not really aware of it, but it's okay. We're going to help you. I'm going to work with these guys. These guys seem to know you. I'm going to ask how you guys know each other in a few. We were able to come up. I'm going to be able to pay for a boat for you. We're going to get you a nice boat in the range of $50,000 to $100,000. And we're going to get you a full-time Kick deal, which is a live streaming deal where you can stream your entire voyages and all your adventures. And you could have a passive income come in. And you're going to be, you're going to have a Kick deal, man, a live streaming deal. So you could live stream and connect with the fans all over the world, and they could really see your adventure, man.
Wow. Thank you.
It's going to be insane.
So that's a really nice thing to do. I saw a lot of people were torn on this because that also just like heavily incentivized him to stay in the boat for the whole hurricane. But I mean, if the police didn't convince him to do it, if the mayor didn't convince him to, if the news didn't convince him, if the guy who's helping him couldn't convince him, I don't think he was going to go anywhere else. But either way, that's clearly a life-changing call right there for Dan. But sadly, this is about where the narrative about him started to switch up, because now, I mean, he's going to receive a bunch of money. He's raised thousands of dollars on a GoFundMe. So people start digging into his past to figure out, okay, who is this guy? And this video, digging up his past, went viral, and everyone started to label him as a grifter.
First off, this man has a GoFundMe with over $20,000 in it. He's not homeless, period. He lives on a boat, except for the short year that he spent in prison for beating a EMT with a violin. His GoFundMe is under a different name than the one that he's using in the Daily Press and the one that he was arrested in. So it's really hard to tell who exactly he is. But what I have found is that his Facebook page lists himself as a digital creator. That's right, a digital creator. He lives in Palm Beach. Knowing that there was going to be a storm, he anchored himself to the worst place in all of Tampa. The worst place. From where he anchored, there are 4 marinas. The Hillsborough River, a short jaunt, like literally not even 700 feet from where he's anchored, would have been a safer location to put his boat. He was offered hotels. He was offered homes. He has clearly made $20,000 in a GoFundMe. All of this for internet clout. Meantime, there are people who are homeless in Tampa, in St. Pete, Clearwater area. There are people who are infirm, who are gravely ill, who have no cars, who cannot leave, who do not have options. And those people have my sympathies. Those are the people that deserve our sympathy. Not people who've decided that they want to chase clout on the internet. Not people who have $20,000 in a GoFundMe that they started 3 weeks ago. Not people who came to Tampa to make a point. Not people who chase internet fame.
So while she's dug deep into this guy's background, I don't think she's actually paid attention to this whole Lieutenant Dan saga on TikTok, because he's not out here begging for money. It was people who offered to give him money. But the violin claim ended up being a little bit too far-fetched to be true, as it was violence abbreviated to violin with an EN on the end of the charge. But while he does have a negative past, I wouldn't really call him a grifter. I at least haven't seen enough information to make me think so, at least. Clearly, some shit happened in your life if you're homeless living in a busted up dinghy as back-to-back hurricanes are headed your way. He's not organizing the GoFundMe, as I said previously. He didn't even ask for the GoFundMe to be made, but he's definitely a TikToker. I don't know, like, it's... Sure, the guy did say, hey, we set up a GoFundMe for the guy, and Dan then went, hey, if you can, feel free to donate to me, but he didn't set all that up. But I don't think his intentions here were to scam people with donations. People wanted to help a guy who reminded them of a beloved movie character, and they did so. But obviously, people's opinions of him might have changed after they found out he had a couple dozen felonies. Apparently, this was Aiden's reaction to the felonies.
Wait, what? I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, bro. I really don't even know what to say. I swear to God, I don't know what to say.
But key word here is he never says he was going to take back the donations. So Aiden ended up clarifying.
3, 2. Yo! Dan!
What's up?
You let the internet get a hold of you, man. I never ever said any of that stuff. It's all fake news.
Okay. That's all right. Good with me. I'm good with you. That's fine. I didn't care.
I know you didn't care. I saw your reaction, but it broke my heart a little bit because it's so easy to manipulate the internet into thinking of a clip. I pulled up a clip.
About it.
I pull up a clip, right? I pull up a clip, and I'm like, what? Right after that, I said, I don't care about any of that. I said we all have a past, for one. For two, you open up to me about your past drug addiction and stuff, bro. I would never do that. I would never, ever take back what I offered you, bro. We had a good conversation. I even texted your boy Tanner at 4:30 in the morning after the stream ended. I said, well, let's have a boat. Does he want? Did he pick out his boat?
But after the storm, it seems like he was taken inside and he got a fresh set of clothes, maybe a shower, and he recorded this video right here.
Hey, TikTok, how you doing today? Just wanted to give a great shout out to Aiden and Tick. I'll be joining the team, and we're going to be doing great things. They get me a boat, give me a decent salary, so I have something to work with. We're going to be...
Why did it end there? Okay, clearly he's not the most tech-savvy person, because he posted this on his TikTok. It's a 15-second clip. He might have ran out of space on his phone, but there's no follow-up. There's no caption to this. There's just that video. Right. So if you want to follow his journeys, his name is JC331 on TikTok. Overall, those were some risky actions that we saw from him over the past 3 weeks, but it did pay off in the end. So I guess that's the story of the wild Florida man who survived 2 hurricanes back-to-back on a busted-up dinghy. I don't know if it's bravery or stupidity, probably both, but either way, he's been given a chance to completely turn his life around, so I really hope he doesn't waste it. Again, you can find him as JC331 on TikTok if you're interested in checking him out to see where his journey leads him next. But other than that, we're going to be doing a limited edition Halloween collection that will only be available now in October 2024 for Matt City. Matt City is the company I started where we sell embroidered mouse pads in all sizes and toy car mats of a city near you. So if you want another way to support the channel, feel free to check out matt.city in the top of the description down below or the top of the pinned comment. And on top of that, we're also going to be giving away a mat or mouse mat of a viewer's choice over on Instagram. All you have to do is follow our Instagram account, matt.city, and I'll send you a signed product of your choice from matt.city at the end of October. To keep things simple, we'll make a video on the matt.city Instagram account where we announce the winner from a random draw based on a random follower on the account. So I'll make that on November 1st. But other than that, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video. Feel free to check it out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.